Hi everyone, it's Shannon. Welcome to today's video. Well, it's Shannon and Ryder because what are we talking about today, Ryder?
Ice skating lesson.
Ice skating lesson. So it is actually Super Bowl Sunday, February 13th, 2022. And last Valentine's Day, Ryder started ice skating lessons. We actually started with a Groupon. So our local ice arena, Pines Ice Arena, had a Groupon, and actually they still have a Groupon. I will post a link below to that. You can also buy direct through them. But he started ice skating lessons, and he started an 8-week session through Groupon, and I figured if he didn't like it, it would be money lost and I would never come again. But he actually loved it, and a year later, he's still skating, and now I'm skating.
Yeah,
Now we're skating together. So he was doing once a week up until November. So from February, never really stopped, obviously, with weeks. Some weeks they offer classes in the morning and in the afternoon. So he was doing the morning sessions early, which is just kids. It's from 3 to age 12. And then at 12:15 on Saturdays and Sundays is just mixed. It's kids and adults and everybody. So we started him in the morning, and then he wanted to come more often. In October, after he finished his session, he says, I'd like to come more often. So I figured, okay, there's an unlimited session where you can come to any class 3 days a week. And I figured, well, if he's going to come, and I got to bring him, I'm going to learn too. So I started taking ice skating lessons too, and we've been having fun. So I started in November. Ryder's a lot better than me, aren't you?
Yeah,
Because he learned first, right? And then he also has no fear. I have a fear. I had actually a bad fall about 5 weeks in, had a concussion. So
it was the first day.
It was not the first day.
Yeah,
it was 5 weeks in, and actually ended up with a concussion. So I don't recommend that. But the ice arena, everybody, the staff was phenomenal when that happened. So highly recommend it. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to show you footage of Ryder's progression. I don't really have any videos of me because I can't really film myself, but I have Ryder's progression. So some of these were filmed, well, actually everything was filmed on my phone, as well as, and a lot of things were just filmed vertical because they were really filmed for Instagram, I wasn't really planning on doing a YouTube video. And then I've got some footage that I shot of him today, and, his skating and how well he's progressed. So that's what I'm going to show you right now.
At least also doesn't fall too much. This guy is really on the ground every single time. This is a better example. Some days the pressure only lessens itself. But no.
We don't expect 3 and 4-year-olds to make it past the whole 45 minute class. Just because.
Yeah. Why are you not going to
Like something more time.
No, we don't hang out in the morning.
What is it? So as you can see, Ryder has progressed so much. So I'm going to give you really quick, I just do a really quick tour of the ice arena. This again was shot on my phone. So you can see just a real quick tour of the ice arena, and then I'll kind of recap at the end of kind of about what they offer at Pines Ice Arena and why I think it's a good idea. And it's never too late, because Ryder started learning at 5 and I started at 45. And this is the Pines Ice Arena over in Pembroke Pines. So this is Pines Ice Arena. There's the entrance where you pay when you check in. For each class, you have to check in. That's the office. That's also where you'll get your rental skates or your rental skates tickets. You pay for it there. And then here is like the snacks. So they have like a lot of hot chocolate, you know, typical stuff. There's the games. Ryder loves the air hockey. If he's good in class, he gets to do one try of the claw machine. That's been something we've been doing since he started. So we have a bunch of these. And as you can see, here is the ice arena. Now here is where the classes are. That's also where the birthdays parties are. And then the other ice rink is on this side, and that is the hockey rink. And there's the snacks. They have cookies, popcorn, pretzels, hot dogs, hamburgers, you know, the standard fare. And then here's where you can rent skates. You can also rent helmets too. We haven't rented skates in a while, and we've never rented a helmet, but they're there if you need them. So here's the skating rink during open session. It says 1 to 5 on a Sunday, and those back there are all the birthday party. Okay, so obviously I am back home and wanted to go a little bit over, let's go over ice skating in general and starting my son. So I had no idea. I am from Florida, so I'd never ice skated myself. So I started him. He was going once a week, and we were using the rental skates because they were included. And it just became, I was like, you know what, if he's going to continue this, I ended up buying him his own skates. And he said he wanted to do hockey. That was kind of what we started this at. So I bought him hockey skates. And he kind of stopped progressing at that point. He was progressing, but just a lot slower. And then I got him figure skates because I was like, okay, let me switch him back to figure skates. And I was able to get some pretty inexpensive on Macari. And he started doing better. But then he outgrew those pretty fast. And then he still said he wanted to play hockey. So I switched him back to hockey skates. And again, he started not progressing as much. Now, looking back on it, I've learned a little bit more, and people have told me when you're learning to ice skate, learn in figure skates because of the toe pick. It's easier to learn on figure skates than it is to hockey skates. Plus, looking also at my son's personality, I don't know if he has the personality for hockey. Maybe he will change, I don't know, but I don't think he has the personality to play hockey. Do I think he's going to become a figure skater? Probably not, but maybe he will. Maybe speed skating. But again, right now, it's just about enjoying it and learning and doing what he enjoys. And if he stops enjoying it, then we'll stop. But right now, he really is enjoying it. And he wants to do the jumps and the spins. So, maybe, I don't know, maybe we'll see. So, but that was one of the things I learned is, once I realized that he was going to continue on with the lessons, I did decide to get his own skates. I just went back and forth with hockey skates and figure skates. If I did to do it over again, I would go with figure skates because, again, he has progressed a lot faster with the figure skates, and I also don't think he's actually going to play hockey. With that, he's got a really great pair of skates right now that I got on eBay. So I looked on Macari, Poshmark. I knew what size he was. I knew what kind of skates. I researched some skates. And I was able to get him a really good pair of skates for $50 on eBay, buying them off somebody else. They are phenomenal skates. If I bought them new, they would have been $300. But because somebody outgrew them, I got them for $50. So that was great. So I think if you have kids, research, find out what size they are, research skates, because you could probably get a pair on Macari, Poshmark, whatever, eBay for a discounted price, just making sure, the size that you get the right size. So that was really great. And he has done phenomenal since then. Now, how I started taking lessons, I kind of mentioned this, was back in October. He says, are there more classes that I can come to? And I said, yeah, we can sign you up for unlimited. So, which is basically there's 3 classes a week and we can come to any one of those sessions. And I signed him up. And when I was like, well, if I'm going to come 3 days a week, I'm going to start taking lessons too. So that's what I did. I started in November, and I was on the rental skates 3 times and nearly killed myself. So if you're going to take ice skating lessons and you're older and your feet have stopped growing, just get ice skates. Get ice skates. Like, just get them, because I could not skate in the rental skates, and they weren't sharp. So I did get a good pair of skates, because at 45 I need ankle support. So I got a really good pair of ice skates that I guess it's for beginning level jumpers, which I am not planning on jumping, but I did get one because that's going to give you ankle support. So highly recommend getting your own skates. And I'm terrified. I've always wanted to learn to ice skate, but I'm terrified. So what I've learned in the 3 months that I've been taking lessons is the hardest part for an adult is the fear. My son has no fear. I have fear. I'm terrified of falling. My first fall was I was trying to practice a little 2-foot turn, like in place. My feet went underneath me. I fell flat on my back and slammed the back of my head on the ice, and it ended up with a concussion. So that was my first fall. Since then I have fallen, which has been good, because the fear of falling is like, oh, I'm not going to always end up with a concussion. So having other falls has helped. They hurt, they suck, but it has helped get me over the fear. So for me, I am slowly kind of going and getting better. And in 3 months, I think I've progressed pretty well, and I'm very happy, and I am enjoying going. And one of the best things for me and my son is after each session, there's an open. On Saturdays and Sundays, there's a free skate. And then on Wednesday nights, we also go on Wednesday nights, there's an hour where it's just people that are taking lessons. So some of people are taking private, some people are just staying over from their group sessions, and you can skate for an hour. So it's not like an open, public session. It's pretty kind of I guess private. It's like, I think it's called a freestyle skate, and there's a lot less people, and the people that are there know how to skate. So those are my favorite, but it's fun. And my son will come and sometimes hold my hand, and we'll skate around the rink, especially on Saturdays and Sundays. So that's a lot of fun, which is something I missed out on the first 9 months that he took lessons. Was he always wanted to stay late because the lights come off and there's like a disco ball, but I couldn't skate. So now that we do that, so that's really special, and that's something that I am enjoying. And then staying after and practicing, even just getting on the ice, has really helped me overcome my fear. And I've noticed that once I started staying after each lesson, I started getting better, as did my son. So now I'm specifically going to talk about Pines Ice Arena. And as I stated, we started with a Groupon for my son. I bought the 8-week session, and at the time, I think it was $175. I'm looking on right now. So the 8-week session for one day a week is $175 online. However, you can use a Groupon coupon. So right now there's a 20% off coupon, so you could get it off at $140. So that's a significant saving. Now you can only do the Groupon once, so you can't do it over and over again. But if you're wanting to try, I think when I did it, I even had a better coupon. I think I paid $125 for 8 weeks, because I thought, you know what, if he hates it, we'll never go back, and I lost $125, but he ended up loving it. There's also a 4-week session, which is $89. I do recommend doing at least 8-week sessions. You can basically learn 4 weeks just how to stop and how to kind of just not kill yourself, but you're not going to really learn too much. But that, especially for little ones, you can do a lot in 4 weeks, but I recommend go ahead and doing the 8-week session. Really, really great. And they also do have a Groupon for ice skating for 2 with skate rental and hot chocolate for $20. So that's also a really great deal. So that's regarding Pines Ice Arena. Now they do also have, which is not a Groupon, which is the unlimited that we do. And that's 3 days a week. So the lessons are offered on Wednesdays from 5:30 to 6:15. And then Saturdays and Sundays from 12 12:15 to 1 o'clock on both Saturdays and Sundays. That's for kids as young as 3 all the way up to adults. Now, they do have I think it's called Pines Penguin program in the morning on Saturdays and Sundays. And that's for kids only from age 3 to age 12. And that's from 9:15 to 10. And that is what my son started at. He did that time frame from February until the end of October. We started at the noon session going forward in November. So that's, if you have little kids and you're not going to be taking them and they're in the age between 3 and 12, I recommend doing the morning session of Saturdays and Sundays at 9:15 to 10 o'clock. And then you can skate after. The free skate is from 10 to 12, and there's a lot less people from 10 to 12 and that free skate. But if you are an adult and you want to take lessons, you can't take lessons at that time. Also, they don't offer the unlimited for the morning session. So those are really for the beginning skaters. There are some more advanced skaters in that time frame, but for the newer skaters, little ones, I highly recommend starting them at the 9:15 class. And here's some paperwork that I picked up just so you can see. It's 4 weeks introduction to ice skating. There's the Pines Penguins. There's also private lessons. Also, there's a jump and spin class, something to aim for. And then they also have learn to play hockey. So if somebody's looking to play hockey, they have specified programs for that as well. Now, when you sign up, this is what you get. You get this little ticket. Now, mine says unlimited, but if you were to 8-week session, it would have a date here, and basically they stamp it. Now, if you miss a class, let's say you're out of town one week and you miss a class, you can do a makeup session. So when my son was doing Sundays, maybe we were out of town one weekend, then the next weekend I just brought him on Saturday and Sunday. So you do makeup classes if you're doing the 1 day a week class. However, if you're unlimited, there's no makeup sessions because you're taking every class. Now, there are time frames as far as when they start. So you'll see 4-week starts on 2/12, 3/12. These are the 4-week sessions. And then you'll see the 8-week sessions and so on and so forth. So what I learned today, because I did go and ask, is that the 8-week, the unlimited sessions always start on the Wednesday session. So it would be the 8-week Learn to Skate semester, Wednesdays, 5:30 to 6:15. That's something new. So it would start on 3/16 for our next session. So if you want to do the unlimited session, it has to start on one of these days, 1/19, 3/16, May 11th, or July 6th. So that is really the best value, because that is $299 for the unlimited, whereas the 8-week section is $199 normal price. So here's a little report card that they did for my son at the end of the last session. And you'll see he is in Basic 2 and he is still in Basic 2. And these are what he needs, like what he did and what he needs to work on. And honestly, some of these things he's already gotten, and he's advanced really, pretty much really well. So we're in February now, and he's already, this rocking horse he can now do, the backward swizzles he couldn't do and now he can. So he's already progressing really well. So they do a mid-session report card at 4 weeks, and then they do one at 8 weeks, and they tell you what level you're going to be in next. And the adults also get a report card. It's a little different. So there's adult 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So adults 1 through 3 are all in the same class. And then once you get to adult 4, you are in a different class. So as you can see, this one is an older one. I don't really save them, but this one I was pretty much adult 2. Some of these things I can do, but some of these things I still need to work on. Okay, so now we're going to talk about Pines Ice Arena and specifically adult classes. So if you're going to be taking adult classes and you're only going to go 1 day a week, the best day for me, I would say, is Wednesday night. Wednesday night seems to be the least amount of people and also the least amount of new skaters. New skaters tend to take classes on Saturdays and Sundays. Some of the more advanced skaters tend to take classes on Wednesday as well. So that is my first piece of advice. My only, I would say, complaint, and it's not even a complaint, it's nothing that I've complained to them about, it's just something to be aware of. There's like I said, it's adult 1, 2, and 3 is kind of combined into one class. And then there's like the adult 4 class. And even the adult 4 class today, there was maybe 4 people in it. There's usually like 4 or 5. It's not a lot of people. Usually people aren't continuing. They kind of learn to skate, take it for 8 weeks, and then they move on. So the intro class, the 1, 2, and 3 is usually a lot of people. I had the choice to move up, but there's a lot of things that I was not comfortable doing in adult 3 area, and I didn't want to move up before I was ready. But the downside of that is because when the new session starts, you're in adult 3, but most of the people that are starting are in adult 1, and that means they don't know how to skate. So there's always kind of that frustrating portion. And with that, today there was like 16 people, and there was a lot that didn't know how to skate. But some of the things that I want to work on are going backwards, doing the 2 for a turn, and I want to practice and feel comfortable doing the basic skills before I learn anything more advanced. So my biggest, I guess, complaint is I think there needs to be something in between that beginner, I can't skate level and the more intermediate adult 4 class. There was probably, out of the 16 people today, I would say 6 or 7 of us were probably at the 2-3 level, and there probably could have been split, but there's also just not enough space. It's fine. Like, I personally chose to stay in that class, so I take responsibility for that, but we're just not getting that much out of the sessions as we do. Like on Wednesday nights, I get a lot more out of the sessions. So that's probably the only thing that I wish they would do, is that they would have some sort of middle class for that beginner or advanced beginner class, if that's a thing, or just an adult 3 class to work on those skills. Because like I said, today that was really hard. And then they moved me into the adult. They said, why don't you go to the adult 4? I tried to go to the adult 4, but the instructor had me trying to do things that I had never even learned, wasn't taking the time to teach me. And then when I asked her, well, can I do this? And she just said no. So I just left and I went back to the other class. So, that's the only thing. Just be aware that once you get into that middle area, you're just gonna have to wait. But the other side is you can take private. So that's something I'm thinking about, is taking a couple private lessons to kind of get me to that next level, to have that one-on-one instruction, especially with especially an ice skating coach that can maybe teach me some things to get me to the next level. So that's something too. Obviously privates are going to be a lot more expensive, but it is something I'm considering just to kind of get me to that, over that hump to the next level. But that's probably my only, I would say, like I said, complaint, is that there's no middle ground for beginners, because every time there's a new session, if you're still in that beginner level, you're starting over with people who don't know how to skate. So it's just something to be aware of. But with that, after like the 5th week, a lot of people only do the 4-week session. So by week 5, it opens up a lot, because there's usually a lot more people that quit at that point. So usually weeks 5 through 8, there's not as many people in the class. At least that's what I noticed for myself last session. So that is my take. And like I said, my only somewhat of a complaint, but I will say I'm loving it, and I am still considering, I'm still going to be continuing doing it. As long as my son wants to do it, I'll continue doing it as well. And speaking of that, as far as Pines Ice Arena, the instructors are phenomenal. They're great with my son. Especially early on, he struggled. There was a couple times where when he didn't know how to skate, he was just struggling, and they were just so patient with him. And there was one day he had a tantrum on the ice, and they were just phenomenal. And even with me, when I said, like, I had my fall, it was a Wednesday night, and the staff there were incredible. There was one of the coaches, she was coaching, and she came over and she sat with me. My husband had to come and get us. So they were phenomenal. They called and checked up on me. Someone from the ice arena called the next day to make sure I was okay. So really, really phenomenal. We enjoy going there. The staff in the office is great. I will say they have I showed a little while ago, the birthday party place. Really great place to have a birthday party. Actually, let me show you some of that information now. So here are the birthday party packages. So as you can see, it's like 10 admissions, gate rentals. You have those booths that I showed a little while ago. 2-hour party is $289, 3-hour party $319, 4-hour party $349. So I'm trying to convince Ryder to do this next year. I think he's hung up on Chuck E. Cheese, so I don't know if he'll want to do this, but it looks like a really fun place to do a party, and I see a lot of people doing parties, and it's a lot of fun. So with that kind of wraps it up as far as learning to ice skate with a Groupon, and then specifically about Pines Ice Arena and our experience this past year. It's been wonderful. I still can't believe he's still skating. Like, I can't believe that when I started last year, I thought it would be a short-lived thing. He'd learn to skate and then would get bored with it. The fact that a year later, he's still continuing it with it. He loves it. I started skating at 45, something I always wanted to do. So it just shows you that you're never too old to start something new or learn something new. I think that's great. So I highly recommend Pines Ice Arena. Use the Groupon. But once you get the Groupon, make sure you sign. You cannot sign up the same day, and that's signing up for a class or using the Groupon. You have to go in and sign up for the class. So make sure because there are some people that think that they can just go get the Groupon and sign up and take lessons. That's not how it works. So if you do use the Groupon, make sure you call them, register. They'll tell you how to do it, but you do have to go in and register before the first day. So with that, if you like this video, click like, click and subscribe. That way you get a notification every time I post a new video. Bye everyone.